I wanted to hop on here and do a quick on the fly deep dive with the Housewives about Braunwyn and her mom, Dr. Deb, and everything we're seeing go on with those two. As you all saw, Braunwyn had this dinner with her mom where basically she tried to air some of her unexpressed grievances, feelings, resentment, grief, hurt over her childhood. Basically, Braunwyn felt like as a child, her needs were not put first and foremost, and that Dr. Deb basically put her own needs in front of the needs of Braunwyn and created a childhood that didn't feel stable or secure. Braunwyn clearly still has some feelings about this, and she's basically trying to work it out with her mother. And as we all saw, Dr. Deb's not really hearing it. She had that great line about kind of like, well, you weren't, a refugee at a refugee camp. So basically, the message from Dr. Deb is, you got it pretty good. I don't really want to hear anything about it. If I were to be speaking directly to Braunwyn, if I were working directly with Braunwyn, what I would want to say to her is this. First of all, you have absolutely every right to your feelings. You have every right to your feelings. We all do. We all have a right to our feelings. And I cannot tell you how many times I work with clients and we start to identify these really core wounds that they have from childhood. Really sort of core pain that they're carrying from childhood, and they don't want to allow themselves to have this experience. They will be the ones saying, hey, you know what? There are people in the world who have it so much worse than me. I don't want to be ungrateful. It's ridiculous for me to complain about this stuff. I don't want to, blame my parents who, did their best. And what they do is they take themselves out before they even have a chance to even claim these feelings for themselves. And, the problem with that is that we can't deny the reality and the truth of our feelings. It's like I always say, if you put your hand against a burner and, your finger gets burnt, it's going to hurt. And you're going to want to say, ouch. You know what I mean? You want to say ouch, and then you want to put your finger under the cold water. You want to soothe and heal yourself. You want to express yourself, right? But if you don't allow yourself that opportunity to say ouch, you're going to kind of be sitting there, with your mouth clenched close, and your finger's going to be burning, and you're going to be kind of this ball of hurt and anger and discomfort because you're not letting the feeling move through you. You're not letting it heal. You're not even giving yourself the time and space to say, oh my God, my finger got burnt and it fucking hurts, which is what your system needs. So when you deny yourself the experience of your own feelings, and whatever it is that you went through as a child, you're like that ball of discomfort and tension holding on to pain that's not getting a chance to move, express itself, and to heal. And this is a thing that I want to say to you, and it's something that I say to my clients all the time. You can absolutely love your parents, okay, and still have been impacted by some of the mistakes that they made. And by the way, when I say mistakes that they made, I am not talking about conscious mistakes. I am not talking about intentional mistakes. I know most of you out there listening to this, your parents loved you. And for everyone listening out there, your parents did the best they could. That is the truth. Now, we all are human. And we all have blind spots. And we all make mistakes in relationship, okay? So we're all always getting hurt in relationship. Whoever it is, sometimes our friends hurt us. Sometimes our lovers hurt us. Sometimes our coworkers hurt us. And yes, sometimes our family hurts us. And it's not because they don't love us. And it's not because they're bad people. It doesn't mean we're sitting there pointing a finger at them, blaming at them, saying, fuck you, mom and dad, it's all your fault. That's not what we're doing here. That's the voice of the victim. That's the voice of the immature child. That's not the voice that we're encouraging. The voice that we're encouraging here is the voice of the adult that says, okay, I love my parents. I'm so grateful for everything that they gave me. I see their goodness, and I'm also aware that there are certain unintentional mistakes or unconscious mistakes and choices that they made that have had an impact on me, that caused some amount of pain in me, that I have unresolved feelings over some things that have happened, and I am allowed that. In the same way that my parents are allowed to have made mistakes despite being well-meaning people who love me, I am allowed to have my response and to have my feelings about it. And that is important self-affirmation and self-validation, and you deserve it and you're allowed it. Now, having said that, this is what I would also want to say to Braunwyn. It's the second piece of this. Yes, Braunwyn, you are entitled to your feelings. You should be allowing yourself your feelings. You are doing great on that level. But where I think you are going wrong, Braunwyn, in a major way, is trying to work this out with your mother. So you can see in that scene, Braunwyn wants her mother to validate her feelings. Braunwyn wants her mother to basically say like, oh, you know what? I get it, Braunwyn. You're right. I fucked up. That was really shitty of me. Like, I'm sorry. Let's grow together and move on. Right? That's what Braunwyn wants. And it's not going to happen. We can all see it. Braunwyn's mother is never going to acknowledge what happened. She's never going to give Braunwyn permission to feel these feelings. I think that's what's going on with Braunwyn. Braunwyn wants Dr. Deb to give her permission to have these feelings and to express these feelings all the way. And it ain't gonna happen. Braunwyn's not in reality. And so what I would say to Braunwyn, and what I say to my clients all the time who are in similar situations, you've got to accept reality that your mother is who she is. This is not for you to go and work out with your mother, because you're not going to be heard here. You're not going to be met here. And we saw it. Braunwyn wasn't met there. So yes, Braunwyn does absolutely need to own and express and deal with these feelings, but it is not for her to own and express these feelings with her mother. She needs to go to therapy. She needs to write about it, express it through art, whatever it is she needs to do. This is her work as an adult to resolve it within herself. Owning your feelings, owning your hurt, owning your anger, owning your sadness over things that may have happened when you were a kid. It is not about then racing to your parents and saying, you did this to me and you need to own it and I want you to acknowledge it. That usually doesn't go anywhere good. Some parents can hear it, and great. But it's a very rare minority. It is not to work it out with your parents. It's for you to work it out for yourself. Now, here's the thing with this. What this means, though, is accepting your parents where they're at. And this is kind of like the third piece that I would want to say to Braunwyn is you got to accept who your mother is. You got to accept who your mother is. What we're seeing on this show, Braunwyn, your mom is not someone who's really open to hearing you in this place. And so what that means to me is that there are limitations in your relationship with your mother. She's not going to fully see you. She's not going to fully hear you. So what do you do in the place where you get into reality about the fact that your mom's most likely not going to hear and see you? You have to start taking care of yourself. And you got to start having some boundaries about what kind of relationship you want with her. Because my sense about Braunwyn is that I think she loves her mother very much. And I think she wants to be really close with her. I think Braunwyn has this kind of like young idea of like, I'm gonna be really close to my mom. She's gonna be like a really good friend of mine. And, I'm gonna go to her with everything. And, that's why she's like bringing to Dr. Deb like these issues she has. I think there's an image that like Dr. Deb will hear her and they're gonna work through it and they're gonna be really close. And, what I wanna say to Braunwyn is I don't think that's the way it's gonna go. I think you're going to love your mother, absolutely. I think you're going to be grateful for all the gifts she has given you, but I don't think you're going to be close to her in the way that you want to be close to her, because I don't think she's going to see you and hear you in the way that you need to be heard and seen. And in the place where you're not going to be seen and heard by her, you need to have some boundaries about what kind of relationship you want with her, what you're willing to share with her, what you're not willing to share with her. And I think that in the place where you need to have boundaries with Dr. Deb, you're going to have to let go of an image or a fantasy or a dream of the kind of relationship that you want with your mother. But this is sort of what's called being an adult. Braunwyn, yes, claim all these feelings, claim your childhood experience, get serious about working this out, go and get the help you need, go and get the support you need. Honor these experiences that happened to you, honor these experiences that impacted you as a girl. Reclaim yourself. Express your anger, express your sadness, express your hurt, heal those places inside you, but don't expect to do it with the aid and support of your mother. Let that go. Let that image go. Don't wait for Dr. Deb to give you permission to do that work. Do that work on your own. And in the place where you let go of your demand or desire for Dr. Deb to give you that permission or to hold space for you or to acknowledge you there, start getting clear on the boundaries you need to have in this relationship to take care of yourself, to take care of your heart, to honor the places where you get hurt. It's time now to move into adult relationship with Dr. Deb. A lot of times people don't want to acknowledge these feelings from childhood because they think it's like them being dramatic or it's them being immature, it's them not, letting go of something that's very young. But I actually think it's the opposite. I think it's really adult work to acknowledge where you've gotten hurt, to acknowledge where there's pain, and to actually take responsibility for your healing so that you're no longer holding on to that. And so that you can kind of grow yourself up to the present day and take care of yourself in the present day. So this is what I would say to Braunwyn. It's what I'm saying to you guys. Hopefully this all made sense. Leave me any questions in the comments. And if you don't already, follow me on Instagram, Jamie Stein. I have a lot of kind of content there that's exclusive to Instagram. Follow me on Twitter, Jamie_Stein_. And if any of this is resonating with you or bringing stuff up in you and you feel like you need any additional support or assistance, go to my website, hollywoodreadings.com. Check it out, see if a session speaks to you. Email me if you have any questions. Okay, guys, see you later.